What's going on, everyone? We're back for another We're Racing video. And of course, we're talking the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku this year. Would it live up to the hype that we expected? Before the race even got underway, we had some controversy. First of all, we had some cars penalised. So we had the likes of Robert Kubica penalised. Kimi Raikkonen, his front wing failed a deflection test, and he was subsequently made to start from the pit lane. Pierre Gasly as well had a penalty for failing to adhere to the weighbridge to stop for the weighbridge. And so it got underway. Lewis Hamilton with a blistering start up the inside of his teammate into turn one. When Lewis is in that position, it's normally bang on. There's no chance of getting out of it. Valtteri Bottas, they obviously spoke about before the race about what's going to happen into turn one, and that Lewis wouldn't push him out wide because there is no room, as we'll see in a shot in a minute. It's just a flat Tech Pro barrier. So it was really marginal between the two there. Lewis as well backed out of it a bit and was a bit kind to his teammate. However, Valtteri Bottas, what a ballsy move it was. Round them first couple of corners, really asserting his dominance now and standing up to be counted in this championship. I'm great to see, like, out of 4 races, he's had 50% of the wins, and his teammate has had the other 50%. So it's going to be a real toe-to-toe season, but it's going to really count once the Ferraris come into the fold. Nevertheless, solid result from Bottas. Really commanded the race, responded to anything that Hamilton had to offer, and had that protection from Hamilton as well in terms of strategy. Pit stop the Ferraris if they did come quick. But this man here, what a rejuvenated Bottas we've seen this year. Not like the seasons of old where he has lacked confidence. He's really got off to a flying start, and really pleased to see that, I must say. Lewis Hamilton wasn't at the races like Baku, he's admitted, not one of his favourite tracks. So we're expecting Barcelona in particular to see a bit of a better showing performance. Valtteri already said it on the radio after the race, what a team. The level that everyone is performing at the moment is impressive, both at the track and back at the factory. And I'm really proud of everyone. He said it was actually a tough race with Lewis putting pressure all the time, so I could not do any mistakes, and I'm happy to see the checkered flag. It means a lot, and I'm proud of this team. Remember, this man 12 months ago was leading the race, was dominating, and he had that rear left tyre blowout. I think it was one of the rear tyres anyway. Seen a massive graining on the tyre there. Yeah, he must have been a relieved man to see the checkered flag. Lewis says it's a great result for the team. I think this team is stronger than it's ever been, and it's all down to teamwork. We can see that harmony amongst the team now, and it's really benefiting Mercedes. A really slick, real complete, well-greased machine. So another weekend to forget for Ferrari. This should have been a track which they would have aimed to get a win, to get a 1-2, to get that lockout of the front row. However, it all fell apart in qualifying when Charles Leclerc put it into the turn 8 wall and really wrecked Ferrari's chances. That also wrecked Vettel's chances as well, because remember, you need a wingman round here to get a toe. It's probably worth up to 0.4 of a second in a quali lap. So real disappointment from Ferrari at this Grand Prix. They should have won it, in my opinion. A lot of people say that car is not as fast as the Merc. I really do think it is. I just think strategically, it's just not operationally working at this moment in time for Ferrari. So it's to be seen if they can really get it together back at Barcelona, back where we saw them in testing, so strong and dominant. What's your thoughts and opinions? Will we see Ferrari start to get some back-to-back wins throughout the year? Or is it going to be the odd sparse win for the Ferrari, the prancing horse team? So Charles Leclerc said they lost time once Lewis, Valtteri and Seb had passed him. We need to look into that. I asked if there's any possibility for me to come back. They said no. They got the strategy wrong again. They hung him out to dry. But I do think they had one eye on the safety car. If the safety car had come out at that point in the race, Charles Leclerc would have been in a prime position. You know, he could have potentially, got in the box, had less of a penalty when it comes to lap delta time, and it could have got him in amongst the pack again. So it remains to be seen. It's been a bit of a quiet one for the safety car in the early rounds of this championship. We've not seen too many times deployed. The VSC certainly playing its part. Let me know your thoughts on that. Are we going to see the safety car anytime soon? Hopefully so, because that's what spices up some of the racing. What a great performance it's been from the McLaren boys this weekend. I'm really happy to see them back up there, scoring points, being the best of the rest team. This is a track that favours them. This is the last race last year where they got a double points result for the team. So this year, Carlos Sainz, he got it all together this weekend. Probably the best weekend, or definitely the best weekend of the season so far for him. So really, hats off to Carlos Sainz. Drove the nuts out of that car. And also Lando Norris, what a great result to qualify where he did. And then also convert it on race day. Of course, Carlos Sainz, he could mix it up on a strategy. Started outside the top 10. So moving on to Red Bull, bit of a compromise start for Verstappen. He got caught up behind Sergio Perez, who's very punchy around Baku. He knows these streets like the back of his hand. The boss of Honda said, on the positive side, Max showing great consistency, finishing fourth in the last 3 races. Pierre and Daniel were unlucky to retire with mechanical issue. There's no fault incident, respectively. And it's a shame that Alex finished where he started, as it's just one place outside the points. Max said, in general, it was a good race. Always had the Mercedes and the Ferrari in sight, and they were just looking to close the gap. Remember, Honda, they bought an upgraded powertrain. Pierre said, these things in the race went pretty well, and we got to P6, but unfortunately, we didn't make it in the end. He had great pace, and then it all fell away for Pierre Gasly. It was so unfortunate for the poor kid. I'm sure he'll get a break soon, but how long that will take remains to be. So we had this bizarre incident where Danny Rick went to overtake Danny Kvyat, locked up at the inside, so he had to take to the escape road. In doing so, Danny Kvyat was on the outside and that blocked his path. So they both got stuck there, had to find reverse. Danny Rick found it a bit quicker and torpedoed the torpedo himself, Danny Kvyat. So this you can see the upgrade for the next race, just so we can see who's behind him. It was a bit of an urgency on my behalf, and I didn't think straight for a few seconds. So I have to take that one on the chin. The team certainly deserved more today. We were bringing a nice rhythm, and there was some good pace on the medium to continue, and we probably could have scored points. So a lot of teams have said about the medium tire. Hulkenberg said, it's been a tough weekend. Today I had no response or anything to offer. I was pushing really hard. Feel like I was driving as best as I could, but I couldn't extract the maximum from the car today. We have a lot to investigate going forward, but maybe it's one of those mysterious weekends which happen. It's difficult from one lap to the next. As you can see here, Haas, again, terrible performance from Haas, you have to say. P13 for K-Mag, DNF for Romain Grosjean, and yeah, definitely a weekend to forget from Haas. Expect more from them in Barcelona. Moving on to Alfa Romeo, Kimi Raikkonen again leading the team from the front. Giovinazzi outqualified him for the first time. However, he took penalties due to power-related incidents. But it was a good result from the Alfa Romeo boys. Kimi Raikkonen managed to bring it back in 10th place, which was pretty much the best they could anticipate for. So here again, we've got the FIA official starting grid. You can see the noticeable absentees. They look very strict now since Charlie Whiting is not with us. And yeah, they're coming down hard on a lot of cars, which wasn't the case previously. So you can see the classification: Bottas, Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, Leclerc. Sergio Perez, great performance, outracing his racing point, you must say. Carlos Sainz, a great P7 with Norris just behind him, P8. Great result for McLaren. Stroll, excellent Sunday, terrible on Saturdays. Great race there from Lance Stroll. P10, Kimi Raikkonen. Albon disappointed to miss out on the points, but a solid drive from him. Giovinazzi brought it home in 12th. K-Mag nowhere in 13th, as well as Hulkenberg 14th. Russell and Kubica rounding out the final runners with 15th and 16th. Throughout the race, we lost Gasly, Grosjean, Kvyat, and Ricciardo. So, of course, we had that incident where Ricciardo reversed into Danny Kvyat, didn't check his rear parking sensor or anything, and they both suffered floor damage, couldn't continue in the end. So you can see not classified there. You see fastest laps went to Charles Leclerc. It was a close battle at the end. Valtteri Bottas was on a 1:44.024. Charles Leclerc, where is it? He done a 1:43.000. That actually wasn't close at all, was it? A second. I thought it was a lot closer than that before I recorded this. But yeah, good credit to Charles Leclerc. You can see teams are really optimizing that opportunity now, and you know, going in, getting a fresh set of tires, and yeah, getting that extra point. So Valtteri says business has resumed this weekend. He's retaken the lead in the championship race, and we can see here the constructors' standings visually. I can see Mercedes running away with it. So Mark saying Leclerc can't fight with old tires like that. But like we say, Mark, I think it could have been a pit stop. Pit stop, potential safety car call. Why they left him out there so long, just to throw that into it. Have track position. We've seen it in the past. If you pit too early, then there is a safety car. It can come back and bite you in the ass. So Charles Leclerc over a second quicker on the fastest lap with that set of nice soft tyres at the end of the race. Where are we going to see Mr. Safety Car? Where are we going to see you out on track again? We missed you in Baku. That would have really spiced up the race. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Who is your driver of the day? For me, it's got to be Bottas, simply for that opening lap. How he really engaged with Lewis there and didn't take no for an answer. So it's been great talking to you as always. Let me know your thoughts and opinion. We're going to get back on a bit of a recap after the first 4 races. Different teams, drivers, how we think they're performing, and what we're going to see from Barcelona. Remember, we're going to see many different teams turn up with different upgrades for the Barcelona Grand Prix. It's going to be really interesting with the upgrades. See what they're bringing, especially with likes of Racing Point, because they've got like pretty much a 2018 spec car with updated components. Thanks for watching. Give me a like, subscribe, comment. Let's engage, guys, and try and get on the Facebook platform as well so we can do real-time comments. Great to hear from you. Have a nice day.